So now, for the good of the order.
I think we have some pictures from yesterday.
Yes, there they are.
So the picture, can we move back to the first picture? This was taken June 15th, 1950. And that's when the Packwood Airport was dedicated. And I met a lady there yesterday who said she was 13 years of age and she helped with this airport. Her father was involved. So if you can see the airplanes on the ground, if you can see the white. So then
there's a car over there with a loudspeaker on it,
Yes,
I guess. I'm
yes.
not sure.
that's where,
So,
looks like kind of rough ground before that, doesn't it? So,
yeah.
okay, is this the one where the airplane's coming in? Little bounce there.
we were with standing by two pilots, and they said that was not a very good landing.
No.
Hey, isn't anything you can walk away from, right? Isn't that a good landing?
Yes. Gary, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, a couple things there. First off, Destination Packwood is one that set this up and organized it, and so they did a phenomenal job. I know that Congresswoman Herrera Butler's Sherry Hildreth was there and had a nice prepared speech or letter for the community, and of course there were 20. I was talking to John Rowe, and I think 27 airplanes. That was his count, and there might have been more coming in, but because of weather and these types of things. So it was quite an event. We had Packwood Improvement Club, Scenic Byway, all the people, all the representatives. CJ was there. That they had a coloring contest for some of the kids too. So it was a really nice event, and I would say at least there were probably, Commissioner Fund, between 100 and 150. Mm-hmm. And then Lee Napier, our Community Development Director, was transporting pilots to and from the chicken dinner that was hosted by the
Packwood Improvement Club? Mm-hmm. Oh,
So,
there they are.
There they are. So there were a lot of good things going on there, and I just commended Lee and her staff, and I know that Eric, they were always involved with that too, and also Donna Olson
Mm-hmm.
was I gave a recognition to, because I know that she spent a lot of time on this, as well as Larry Mason, our airport manager. So a lot of things came together, and I think Larry said it best. This is an effort where you have federal, state, and also county government working together for the common good of a project that's very, very valuable. And so we were very pleased. I know that we got around. I stayed till almost 3 o'clock over at the airfield, so because there were still people coming in, and I didn't make it to the chicken dinner. So
I made it to the chicken dinner.
Commissioner Fund did, but
And there was 400 half pieces of chicken so there had to be 400 people, and they ran out of chicken at the end, about 2 o'clock. So the whole town came out, other visitors came out. They saw it on Facebook. I remember Lee Gross, a former commissioner who, resident there, said he looked in the audience and he thought, there's probably, maybe I know 25 people in that audience, so others came as visitors. And it was very impressive to see these airplanes coming in. My husband was in the Air Force, and he loves flying, and he said this was a great day to see these airplanes coming in. And there was various landings, of course, because the wind was there, and but everybody made it in safely and made it out safely.
Yeah, it was a fun event. So, and I left, like I say, when I left, it was probably almost 3 o'clock, and well, the pilots weren't around, so I'm assuming they were probably over eating chicken. So so it was a good thing, though.
Wasn't there the director of some private pilots association of Washington that was present? And
yes, I know that Larry did a really good job of contacting. I know that he did contact the military too, but because of a Sunday and also other events going on, they were going to have some military craft come in, but they were going to try to do something a little bit later on possibly. So, and of course, I pointed out that, the asset to these airports, in my opinion, and again, we have to look, we have to look long-term, and we have an industrial park up there, and I do think, aside from the recreation portion of it and also the events that's going on up at Packwood, it will someday, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but someday I think that it will be an asset for a business opportunity to come in there, because it sets, the industrial park sits directly at the end of the west end of the runway. So I think there's going to be opportunity there. And like I say, Larry thanked all the pilots, the association, whatever that group is called for, but they were phenomenal. And that's probably a very, very special niche group, I think, and I've attended the Flying Club meeting over in Toledo on a few occasions, and it's a well-organized and, again, a very committed group of people. So
Yeah, we appreciate the advisory committee because it looks at both Packwood and Toledo airports for the county, and some of those people were present at that time. Larry Mason pointed out, too, this is the last airport before going over the mountains. So it's very crucial for search and recovery individuals if they're lost, or hikers, or if we have fires up there. It's very strategic in nature.
And I don't have all the information, but Larry did indicate that they're putting together an opportunity, and I don't know if it's Packwood Improvement Club, to actually be able to have transportation from the airport to different places, because he has talked to different pilots associations and different groups that they would like to come in there and bring their bikes and all their camping stuff or whatever that may be. So they're looking at putting together, and I didn't hear it all, but Larry's got some information on that, where they could actually be transported, call a number, whatever that may look like, a taxi, I guess, an airport taxi type thing, to have an opportunity for the people to actually fly in there and stay, and then recreate in different parts. So I think that's, thinking outside the box and trying to bring people into Packwood and other things. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting, though. It's a big deal. And the project was over $2 million, and the federal government picked up most of it. I think it was 5% from the state, and then we had another 5%. So it's a good investment, though. It's a very, very good investment.
And one thing, when we get the money from the feds, we pay it first, and then they reimburse us. So it's a reimbursement. So you have to have some of that reserves there, so you can pay first, and then you fill your reserves back in.
And we are working on the project for the Toledo taxiway, and some other improvements there is going to go out here real soon. I'm not sure. Lee,
Will they get
Eric,
one
do you know when
project?
have you heard on that contract? Lee would know, but I know it's going to be real soon. So good things happening.
Yes. I did hear that they are picking up people to go hiking, so if they call a certain number,
Yep.
they can get transportation to go out hiking if you come in by plane, et cetera. So, and I also stopped in at the Mountain Goat Coffee Company, and I'm standing in line there, and I'm thinking, maybe 10 years ago, that little coffee shop had 1/3 of that building, and then as time progressed, it had the second third, and now it has the whole building. They have music on Saturday nights. It was packed. I was asking people where they were from, and they were from Seattle, Tacoma, Longview. So it was really good, and we noticed in our lodging tax dollars that Packwood has really stepped it up in terms of attracting people to spend the night. So this could be the new Leavenworth of Lewis County sometime.
Well, the day was incredible. It
Yes.
was a picture-perfect day.
Yes. And we also went over, both of us, different times, went to the Collins Falls Lavender Company, and that's a going concern, too. People are there to buy their lavender oil. I had lavender aid that they had made from the lavender itself, and lavender cookies, and it's pretty amazing. A couple of diesel mechanics from Tacoma and their families have started this lavender company there, and I said, Squim will have nothing on us. This lavender company is really growing.
Well, I was there last year, and they had basically, they just had there was an old shed there that they were working out of. This year, they built a brand-new building, along with, and they've got office space in there, and they actually put a distillery in there where they're extracting the oils from lavender, and they're selling by the bottles. So and they've enrolled their kids at White Pass. They had an 8-year plan, and then the wife moved it up to a 2-year plan. So they're enrolled in school. So anyway, so that's pretty cool, though. Lots of good things happening up there.
And looking towards tomorrow, there's a lot of things happening in Lewis County. The parade in PL at noon and the parade in Centralia at 4. So people don't need to leave Lewis County for good entertainment tomorrow.
Okay. Is there anything else? Do we have any other questions from the press, or? No.
I know this is Eric Martin again. I know we're kind of a broken week, but I wanted to remind the public especially that on Thursday at 1 o'clock we do have our next meeting of the Chehalis River Basin Flood Control Zone District. And there's some important decisions that need to be made on that day, one of which that's on the docket for decision is sponsorship of a water retention facility south of PL. And so we are looking for public comment, public input, as much as people that can come to that. We'd encourage them to do so. The other decision on the table for Thursday is reformation of a advisory group for that district. So just encourage people to come and participate in that. It's very, very important for Lewis County, and so we are looking for as much input from people as we can get. Thank you. The meeting is right here in this room at 1 o'clock on this Thursday.
At other meetings, there were ways for the public to give comment that weren't, they didn't have to go to the meeting. They could do it various ways. Is that available?
Yeah, we haven't advertised that, but certainly always we would accept public comments. If you wanted to submit public comments to me, I am the administrator of the district. You can submit comments to our Board of Supervisors if you'd like. If you'd like your comments to be read into the record at the time, certainly we can do that too during the public comment period. So any way you'd like to do it, we'll be happy to accommodate.
And the people sitting in these chairs on Thursday is going to be the Board of Supervisors, not the Board of County Commissioners.
They absolutely will.
Sometimes it's say, what are we today? Well, today we're the Board of County Commissioners, but Thursday at 1 we will be the Board of Supervisors.
I think Supervisor Jackson's comment at the last meeting was we should get T-shirts so that we know or hats, so we know what hat we're wearing. So anyway, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Just Ron Averill from Centralia, just so you know, the Farm Bureau Board is meeting on Wednesday at Spiffy's. Sometimes when we have our annual picnic, we don't hold that next meeting, but they decided to hold it, and I expect it'll be really, really short. There's not much on the agenda.
At Spiffy's, yes.
Thank you, sir.
I was going to let folks know that we are recruiting people to serve on the Water Conservancy Board, and that's an independent board. We need folks to be on there as regular board members as well as alternates. And the end of July is the deadline date. I think a news release will be going out today on that. And additionally, we commissioners have decided to recruit a citizen from each of our districts to serve as an advisory board member for our budget. And that too will be going out soon, and it will be each commissioner's decision which person they'd like to to take a look at to be on this committee. There is a time commitment involved. We're trying to maybe restructure how we do the budget and try to put them maybe in 3 days or 4 days, and it'll be quite a compact time. But we would like citizens to be involved and learn more about our budget and give us some thoughts and suggestions as we go through that. So folks should go online and look for the application for boards and fill that out and submit it to us.
And of course, the other thing is we are obviously an open meeting, so we encourage everyone to come
Yes.
to a budget meeting. So it's not specifically, and of course, we'll get lots of good information there. And I think that part of the thing, and I know that we had talked about this, the fact that we do need people coming in to see exactly and examine it, to let people know exactly some of the difficult decisions we're faced with, but at the same time, I think that everyone will also, it'll be quite a learning experience too. So, we're encouraging everyone to come. We are putting together, we will find a representative from each one of our districts, but that does not limit
True.
to the number of people. We want as many
Yes.
people as we possibly can to attend and listen and go from there. So,
Mr. Averill was talking earlier about the budget, and many of you know we put together unfunded and underfunded mandates that we have in Lewis County and submitted it to John Braun and our other legislators. And unfortunately, very little of what we have here as unfunded mandates has been addressed. And we've heard, because of the McCleary decision, that was taking precedence. But it's very difficult for us as we continue to look at indigent defense, $1.5 million this year, and jail medical. One positive thing that came out of this session was the ability to do some charging for our public records, and we're putting together a policy on that. In addition, we're looking forward to putting more things on the website so people can do their own searches and find the documents that they want to know more about county government. On Friday night, I received a text from the Washington Association of Counties that said, could you text so-and-so? They're working on the Hearst decision in the House. And unfortunately, those deliberations, as Mr. Averill said, they broke down. And this is very important for all of us counties in terms of economic development, and what the Hearst decision really puts a damper on economic development for us. And Senator Honeyford, true to his word, he said, no capital budget until we have a fix on Hearst. So we'll see what next week comes out. Anyway, disappointing time, but we are glad they finished on time, June 30th, so folks around the state weren't laid off, or the parks stayed open here July 4th weekend, and so that was positive. That's all I have.
okay, anyone else? Okay, we have a motion to adjourn.
Oh, yes. I move that we adjourn.
Second? Motion is made and second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you.
You are invited to immerse yourself in the beauty of nature in all four corners of Lewis County, Washington. From our fields to your table, farms in the west share their bounty. Limitless landscapes, forests and mountains beg to be explored in the east. Fish our many rivers and lakes in the south, and discover where history and culture intersect in our twin cities. Explore it all by visiting our Facebook page and plan your next getaway at discoverlewiscounty.com. Culture, history, and adventure all come alive when you discover Lewis County.